So you beautiful people, I need to bring your attention to this tweet from Charlie Intel. Breaking news, Activision Call of Duty Modern Warfare is the most played Call of Duty of this console generation. 500 million hours played in 50 days, becoming the #1 COD game in the last 6 years. It has passed 1 billion in worldwide sales. Now, let's just get this very clear here. I may sound salty to certain people, but hear me out here, because I feel like I've got a case to debunk this. I think this is a myth. I think it's an absolute lie, and I think it's probably at best some very clever wordplay, which is what Activision is very, very good at. Now, let's think about it to start with the last 6 Call of Duties. Okay, so Modern Warfare has to compete with Black Ops 4, which I think personally, and don't shoot me down for my opinion, is one of the worst worst Call of Duties ever made. 150 health, all these random nonsense specialists that will stop you from going on a streak and stuff. There was just too much randomness to help the lesser skilled players, and I hated the game. After that was World War II. World War II had to be totally rebuilt 6 months later in April because the division system was such a disaster. Again, I left this game dead in the water, played for about 6 weeks, wasn't interested no more. Infinite Warfare was dead on arrival. A lot of people just didn't even buy this game because they were just that peed off about going to boost movements for the 3rd year running when they wanted boots on the ground. And going to space just sent people over the edge. Me personally, I believe if this game came before Advanced Warfare, I don't think Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3 would have been as well received. Because personally, for those of you who didn't give Infinite Warfare a try, I feel like it was the most polished advanced movements game. It flowed like Call of Duty to me. It was typical Infinity Ward, fast paced. Well, I say typical Infinity Ward like Modern Warfare's fast paced. It isn't, but I'm talking about Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 1. It felt like those games, even though it was set in the future, and it had advanced movements. It had the best microtransaction system we saw in Call of Duty since the dirty ones came, since Advanced Warfare. So Black Ops 3, a very solid installment, and in terms of polish, it was the most polished Call of Duty I believe we've had in the last 6 years. I'm torn between Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare. I did enjoy Infinite Warfare that much. Then we had Advanced Warfare. The less I say about that game, the better for all of you, because I believe it was a disaster of a Call of Duty. And then we had Ghost, which had a lot of problems, but I still enjoyed the game. The gunplay, brilliant. Time to Kill, I loved. It was typical Infinity Ward. It did have its problems with maps, and the kill streaks were pretty weak. But in terms of, gun on gun action, it was a nice game to play. But they had problems, and they had problems because they were making this game for 2 generations of consoles: PlayStation 3s, Xbox 360s, Xbox Ones, and PlayStation 4. So, and they just went through that big bust up, didn't they? So you can see why that game didn't come out as good as it probably could have. But that's what Modern Warfare is going to compete with, and I believe just the name Modern Warfare is enough to compete with every one of them games. Why? Because you're going to get all the OG boots on the ground squad coming back that played Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, thinking they have got their baby back, they have got their Call of Duty back. Then you're going to have people who are natural wastage, who are going to be playing Call of Duty anyway because they've brought the last few generations of the game. Now, for me, it's a very slippery slope when these are trying to pass this off, because let's talk about this crossplay business for a second. Okay, crossplay. Now, usually Call of Duty used to come out in November. Then you'd get an influx of players coming in. Well, you'd probably get an influx of players that were held back because their Call of Duty was brought with their console, or their game was just brought for Christmas, the Christmas noob season, all that business. Now, because these games have been released earlier in the year, I believe all those players that usually would get this game for Christmas, a lot more of them would have got the game earlier, because it's advertised everywhere. people are going to be asking, can I have the game, and people are just going to buckle. October's too long to wait till Christmas for this game, in my personal opinion. A lot of kids would have got their way. A lot of kids have said, yeah, I did say that. Well, maybe men as well, and women who have been begging their partner, please get Call of Duty for me. I've had mine brought for me also, but that just stipulates to me, crossplay, you don't have to wait. Before, you had to wait 2 weeks to, if you was on Xbox, you would have had to wait 2 weeks for the map packs, the downloadable content, the new guns, blah blah blah. Now, a lot of people would have grown tired, especially if they've got mates who are on a different console. They would have got bored and probably gone to another game. Everything's been a lot more cohesive in this game. Crossplay, Xbox and PlayStation have been getting content at the same time. So, for me, that means you're going to have higher numbers. Things are going to reflect better in the first 50 days. Of course they are. It's just simple logic. This has never been done before. So these numbers, although they're advertising them, I feel like, yes, they may be telling the truth, but what they're trying to portray is bogus. Of course it's going to be. It's only logical that it would be having the most, average time played. The real test is this game come January, mid-January. That's the real test of this game, whether people are still playing it then. And talking about people still playing it, if this is true, then why aren't you showing the player counts? Just answer that one specific question, Activision. Why are you not showing the player counts if you're so proud of this being the number one selling and played Call of Duty in the last 6 years? I call BS somewhere here. I smell a rat. I really do. And I believe, when I look through the comment section, I believe a lot of people smell a rat here. There are people coming out saying, yeah, you're the small minority. I think that's a load of nonsense. I genuinely believe that is a load of nonsense. And only time will tell. But the reality is, if this is a lie, it will only come back to bite you anyway, because you've already been groveling with a survey. So if you've been groveling with a survey asking what would bring people back to Call of Duty, then that kind of, I'm calling your bluff on that one. Why would you send a survey out if the casual player really is enjoying this game? And speaking of that, let's read the other tweets from Charlie Intel. Modern Warfare has outpaced all previous Call of Duty multiplayer experiences on this generation in hours played, hours per player, and average daily players, on its way to becoming the most played Call of Duty multiplayer in the first 50 days since launch in the last 6 years. While there are issues that Infinity Ward have to address, it has also become clear this year that there are a large group of casual players that are playing the game every day and enjoying the game and not commenting online. That just makes me feel I just feel sick reading that. What an absolute load of nonsense. I'm a casual player. Been a casual player for years. There's nothing casual about sitting in a corner, not using your thumbsticks. There's nothing casual about that. What does that promote? And I feel like this game is just going to set precedents for the next Call of Duties to be played in the same type of manner. They'll probably and to watch more from me, hit this thumbnail here.